I believe every peasant of Dank Donk or Donk Dank or home or whatever they call it these days has a story of his own. This is my story, the story of ScotDineHell, the Demonslayer. It all began in a kingdom called Lochtness, which was divided into two factions. One was called Nessie High, protected by the Ruby and Emerald Guild, with its leader the Geki, and the other district was called Nessie Low, which was protected by the Burning Imp Guild. I was the leader of that guild, and when I inherited the leadership of this guild from my father, I obtained the great sword Helldine, which would protect Nessie Low and High from evil that since the ancient of times always lurked around. I studied lots of defensive magic against demons, but I still hadn't obtained the full power of a Demonslayer. It wasn't until the big tragedy of the Lochtness Lake that I retrieved the power of a real Demonslayer. It was a couple of years after I took leadership of the Burning Imp Guild, when demons came and corrupted the lake of Lochtness. I was sent by the king of Lochtness to go there with my guild's army to fend off the demons and banish them back to where they came from. But my guild wasn't the only one. There was also the Geki, who was ordered to go there with his Ruby and Emerald Guild. We held up a big fight and held up our ground until it appeared. One of the strongest infernal demons I have ever fought. It was Lochtness, who appeared from the darkness of the demon realm and attacked our armies with a devastating spell. We lost half of our armies due to burning to death and mutating into creatures who were so wretched they still haunt my dreams these days. I knew it was my job to stop Lochtness, and I knew my brother didn't have the ability to protect himself against the demon and the mutation of his spells. So I used fire magic that I've learned to protect myself from the wicked demon spells and enchanted a giant fire shield around the Geki and his army, and the rest of my army of course, to separate them from the battle and protect them. I was frightened by the wicked infernal demon, almost stunned because of it, but I knew I had to do something against Lochtness. So I grabbed my shield and sword and started to have at him. First I slashed at his arms of fire, but it didn't work. After a while I tried to slash open his armor, which created a giant hole and revealed the heart of the beast. After the heart was revealed, I used all my might to puncture it. Lochtness grasped for air, but it was too late for him, and he exploded into a big heap of fire, which came right at me. I thought it was done for. I thought I would meet the same fate as my companions. But something different happened. Something that was foretold as a myth, but no one was sure about it, and if it could really happen. It was foretold that when you defeat certain demons, there's a chance you obtain the power of this demon. And this was the case with Lochtness, a demon who had lived for thousands of years, granted me the power of the infernal demon magic when I slayed him. Was this a blessing, or could it be a curse? It's something I still wonder upon this day. But I was glad that Lochtness Lake was saved from the corruption of the demon. Or was it? A year had passed, and the lake had gone dry, which meant the disappearance of the Lochtness monster, which we called Loch Dragoo. We swore to protect this magnificent beast all these years, but couldn't protect him from the wickedness of the demons. I've heard stories from Lochtness High about finding the corpse of Loch Dragoo, but the king has ordered my guild not to investigate or even go near Lochtness High. I also haven't seen the Geki after the fight with the demons. He was gone after I slayed Lochtness so I hope he made a safe retreat with his army. Where could he be? And why doesn't the king want us to go to Lochtness High? Where could he be hiding? Another month had passed, with the lake still being dried out, without even a single drop of water. And if things couldn't get any worse, another demon appeared. It was the demon lord who could control time, known as Kronos. A demon even more wicked than Lascible. Where did he come from? And why hasn't there been any word of the king and his council about the appearance of the demon lord? What is going on at the royal palace? And what is wrong with the king? Did something happen to them? Either way, with his wicked magic, Kronos stopped the flow of time in Nassilo. But the magic did not affect me. Is it because I'm in possession of demon magic? Could it be that the infernal magic is protecting me from the stop in time? I ran towards the castle of Lochtness, where the king should be, but long before I could make it, there I already saw him. It was the ugliest thing I've ever seen. Kronos, a gigantic mountain of corruption, and not someone to mess with. He noticed me and started to scream, "Who dares? Why aren't you affected by my almighty magic?" He banished me from the lands and sent me to a place far, far away. So yeah, that's my story from before coming to Donk Dank, or Dank Donk, or home, or whatever they call it these days. Anyway, I see it as a home, so home would be a good name. I've built a bar here in SouthShire, and I will give it the name the Burning Imp, as a homage to the past. I hope to meet a lot of people of Donk Dank here, or home, or Dank Donk, and I hope to hear a lot of stories, so I can learn more about Donk Dank, and maybe one day go back to Lochtness.